back in the real studio. Our main review is a major exclusive, the first full review of the crazy Earthworm Gym on the Mega Drive.
We've also got this, the latest and greatest arcade fight game, Primal Rage. Later, we reveal some special killer moves.
And now be discovering how the fastest graphics computers in the world are being used to create the best VR ride ever made.
Hello again, Furtlers. Much more interesting than all that, some great cheats today, including later the ultimate Mortal Kombat 2 cheat. And I will be performing today's cheats in a variety of interesting musical styles. Number 1, rap. Here we go. Hey! This is a cheat for Crisscross. Make my video on the Mega CD Boss. It lets you see a hidden video about how the game was made by the duo. Grab your controllers, Furtlers. Hey, here we go. On the caller screen, press ABC, then press right and the cheat will be. Hey, there you go. You can see just how the video was made. So that's the cheat I've done in rap. Never you mind that it was poor. My name is Nam. Nam. Nam.
Eat your heart out iced tea. 4. Now, not so long ago, hardware manufacturers started to design joysticks and controllers for use with specific games. This latest gadget is called TV Golf, and it's designed for use with the PGA Tour Series on the Mega Drive. I'm using PGA Tour Golf 2 here. It works in a very simple way. At the bottom of your club, if you like, there's a little red light that shines out the bottom there. And then this pad on the floor is designed to detect at what angle and how fast that light beam passes over your artificial golf ball. It passes that information to the Mega Drive, and so your shot is transferred to the game. It's quite difficult to get used to at first, but eventually you'll find it's quite fun. You've got to be careful, though, because you'll end up with a few dents in the ceiling if you're not careful. Just take a look at the Bad Influence office if you don't believe me. I thought it was a bit of a gimmick at first, but once I started to try it, I really like it. This is great fun.
I'm playing the long-awaited Doom 2 with the funkily named Cyberman, a vibrating mouse. Now, it was originally designed with games like Doom and Doom 2 in mind, but since then, other software has been written for it, because as well as being able to go forwards, backwards, left and right, also, when you get shot, you can actually feel it. The mouse starts shaking violently. Now, here's a bloke, and if I turn around, I can't see him, but I should be able to feel it when he shoots me. There, it feels like putting your hand on top of a spin dryer.
This is the latest gadget from America for playing baseball games. I'm using Super Baseball 2020. Inside the bat is a switch that detects when you've swung the bats, and so tells the Mega Drive to make your swing in the game. I don't think it's anywhere near as good as TV Golf. The main problem is that you have to swing much earlier using this than you would if you were using your ordinary hand controller if you want to try and get that elusive home run. No!
Ooh, careful, Andy. Our main review this week is one of the major game releases of the year, Earthworm Jim, due out on the Mega Drive and SNES at the end of this month. Yippee! Earthworm Jim is the everyday story of a common earthworm who gets taken over by a cybernetic spacesuit. Suddenly, he is no longer content with just eating soil. He must now save the universe, look for princesses, and generally behave more like a worm stuck inside a cybernetic spacesuit. Well, that's the story, but what's it like to play? Here's Lakesh with the Mega Drive version.
This is really special, and it's what a platform game should be. It's original and funny, and you won't want to put it down. These little guys are indestructible. The only way to get past them is by releasing the hamster from its cage and riding on its back. It can then go through the tunnel and eat them up. Some of the puzzles in this game are quite difficult. This is one of the easier ones. The graphics are superb, as is the sound. It's not the kind of music you want to turn off. The aim of this level is to get Pete the puppy safely back home. You've got to save him from the various pitfalls and aliens which come after him and try and kill him. If he dies, though, he turns into a massive mutant monster. Here he comes for me now. This is a great idea for a platform game. You can't see any platforms. It's completely in the dark. It's still very funny, though, even without the graphics. Just listen to the sound effects. It looks great, and it plays like a dream. There are enough new ideas in here to furnish 10 new games.
Now this game will improve your life. I love it. I just laughed all the way through.
This is one smart game. It's the best thing I've played on any system for graphics and sound.
And so the scores for Earthworm Jim, both the boys and the girls gave it a Wrigley maximum, 5 out of 5.
What do all of these things have in common? The latest and hottest Nintendo game system, a teletop computer that lets you run videos on demand, and the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park. Well, they all rely on hardware made by just one company. It's called Silicon Graphics, and this is its headquarters in Mountain View, California, right at the heart of Silicon Valley. Now, you may not have heard of Silicon Graphics yet, but you certainly will next year, because they're designing the hardware for Nintendo's new home console, the Ultra 64. This is a demonstration which gives a taste of just how good the games will look. At the moment, Silicon Graphics computers are used mainly by professionals for what's known as visual computing. You'll find these machines wherever very high-quality images are required. There's a whole range of computers, from desktops to room-sized models. Everything from cars and airplanes to phones and sneakers are designed on them. Weather forecasters use them to visualize complicated weather patterns. They're even used to produce images for movies, and they power the simulators which pilots use to train and practice. I was really lucky to have a go on an F-18 military sim. But now, for the first time, all this power is being harnessed to produce the next generation of VR rides. 2,000 miles away at Epcot in Florida, Disney Imagineers are working with Silicon Graphics to produce the best VR ride yet.
Okay, split up. You go that way, and I'll go this way.
It's based on Aladdin, the movie, and it lets you fly a magic carpet through the rooftops of Agrabah and down into the bustling marketplace, where you meet and interact with beautifully animated characters.
I've got brand new rugs and I've got used rugs.
You control your movement by grasping the edge of the carpet. You can dive, bank, and turn as you want. You push forward to go faster and pull back if you want to slow down. You hardly notice that you're wearing the bulky headset because it's supported by springy wires. Inside, you get 3D pictures and 3D sound that appears to surround you. The ride isn't finished yet. Eventually, there'll be several different stages to your virtual adventure, including a fly through the Cave of Wonders. The Disney Imagineers are using the public as guinea pigs to test their ideas. What they've created so far is very unusual because instead of trying to look like the real world, it's simulating a cartoon environment. It's not virtual reality, it's virtual art.
In many previous simulation and virtual reality experiences, what people tried to do when they were developing this was to recreate the real world. And that's a very difficult thing to do, and the reason it is because everyone is exposed to that on a day-by-day basis. If you look out the window of your car, or you look out the window of your house, or you walk around inside your house, these are things that people do and they're very used to. When we look at what Disney is doing in their ride, what they're doing is they're taking an animated experience, a non-real world experience. And so by taking that, it becomes much more virtual art than virtual reality.
The ride is a unique experience for every flyer because in the first few seconds, the computer monitors your head movements and records how you fly. From this information, it works out a profile and changes the experience to fit each individual. So a streetwise kid from New York will find the ride much more violent and exciting with more bad guys to fight. When your granny has a goal, she'll find the guards of Agrabah simply wave her on her way on a gentle flight.
Don't you have a horn on that thing?
Z-Right flying through Agrabah, and that's the first time that ride's been seen on television. Now, as Z said at the beginning of his report, one of the most interesting uses of Silicon Graphics computers is in creating movie special effects. Now, 2 of the major films currently on release couldn't have been done without computer graphics, or CG as they're known in the business.
Okay.
Sometimes the results are obvious, as in this summer's big hit, The Mask. Star Jim Carrey mimed to the action, then the CG experts at Industrial Light and Magic painted on the cartoon images.
But in a new movie released tomorrow, the CG is designed not to be seen. It's called Forrest Gump, and it tells the story of Forrest Gump's journey through an eventful life. On the way, he meets many famous figures from the 1960s and 70s, and CG was used to seamlessly join the old footage to the shots of actor Tom Hanks, who plays Forrest. In this scene, for example, he meets President Kennedy. The image of Kennedy was taken from some 30-year-old library film, and Tom Hanks was filmed against a blue screen performing the right actions. The background was filmed in a mock-up of the president's office with extras standing in the right places. Finally, all the images were joined together, and most interesting of all, Kennedy's mouth was morphed to match the words spoken by an actor. A lot of trouble? Well, yes, but much more convincing than staging the scene with lookalikes.
And by the way, Forrest Gump is a brilliant movie. Now it's time for this week's news and previews.
The Animaniacs are coming to a console near you this Christmas. You know the story. The Warner Brothers and the Warner sister are cartoon characters who've gone completely potty and they're running amok on the studio lot. As ever, the loony threesome are pursued by the Jobsworth security guard who wants them off the set. It's a puzzle-based platform adventure with some very nice touches. Every level has a movie theme. Here they are doing their Indiana Jones impression.
Ever wondered what happened to the Lawnmower Man? Well, he can't keep a good baddie down, and now he's back in a new game called Cyber War. The virtual villain is now holed up inside the main defence computer, which is turned into a sort of cyber city. It's due out on CD-ROM next month, with versions to follow on the CD32 and the new Sony PlayStation.
Dynamite Heady is a brand new game character with a bit of an identity crisis. He's a broken doll with a selection of weird and wonderful heads, all of which have different powers. So when he's in trouble, he loses his head and swaps it for another one. Look out for him on the Mega Drive next month.
Musical styles number 2, the blues. I woke up this morning feeling blue. Couldn't think of a cheat to do. I had a cup of coffee about 2:30. Still couldn't think of a cheat to do. I was getting really down at 3:45 when I thought of Zool on the Amigo. On level 4.1, there's 2 saws and an axe. Go left along the ledge and jump left on the blocks. Keep pressing left, keep doing the same, and you'll find a secret shoot-'em-up game. Now I'm feeling much better, 'cause my cheats are nearly done, even though my dog's died, and I don't get no fun.
He's suffering for his music, and so are we. Before this series of Bad Influence started, they gave me this plan, and they said, Andy, look at our fantastic new studio set. Well, I don't know about you, but I can't make head and tail of that. In fact, it's still difficult to tell which bit's which when you're actually sitting in the real thing. Our designer spent a whole day making this brilliant model, but again, unless you're an expert, it's difficult to visualise what the final set's actually going to look like. I mean, this block on the end here is supposed to be that set of stairs over there. Not surprisingly, there are computer packages around that can help you out, like this one over here. It's a virtual reality package designed for architects to show people what their designs will look like. Now, it might be a housing estate or an art gallery, or in this case, it's the Bad Influence studio. You can program in your fixed viewing or camera positions, and this mouse is really good because you can program them in and then recall them using these buttons here. So 2, for example, was the position I started in, and on this button here, I've programmed in a shot which matches our camera right up there. You can pan round to the left and right just like the real thing. There we go, around to the left of the gantry, and back to the video wall, if you'd be so kind. There's the gantry, and back to the video wall. You can also program in lots of really tricky camera moves. In fact, this one's so tricky you probably couldn't really do it in our studio. You can choose how much detail to have in your virtual world at a price. The more there is, the slower it runs. The computer also does a clever thing so that it can run as fast as possible. It only draws full detail when you approach an object. So watch the PC screen and the table carefully. Suddenly I feel strangely detached from reality. The Bad Influence set, the real one that is, wasn't built in a day, and neither was the virtual one. You have to start with basic shapes. Now, I've taken a basic cube shape here and made it into a studio tabletop. Then I've added a leg, and to finish off the table, I can just reproduce that leg a couple more times. That wire frame you can see around the table, by the way, is called a bounding box, and that defines the space an object occupies in the virtual world. What it's there to do is to prevent 2 objects occupying the same space, which, of course, in the real world is impossible. Now, once you've finished your table, you can create some more if you want by reproducing that table as a whole. I just click on this little blue triangle here, and I click on the icon on the side, and then I can move it around, and this is an overhead studio floor plan, so I can plop it down wherever I like. You can grab stills or video clips. There's even a virtual Nam.
Hello, slimy furtlers.
Frightening. Now, no virtual studio will be complete without a virtual presenter. And there she is, Violet. Violet, speak to me.
And now, some more games reviews. Theme Park caused a huge stir when it was released on PC this summer. Now it's out on the Amiga 1200. You've got to build the world's best theme park. Every decision you make has a knock-on effect. Not a game for Blast 'em Up fans, then. This is one you have to think about. Here's Chris.
It's a bit daunting when you begin the game, because you start with an empty field. So the first thing to do is build a pathway, and I found the best way is to adopt a grid pattern so your people can walk around the attractions properly. Here I am just putting the finishing touches to my brand new roller coaster. You can alter the height of the ride, the duration, the length, and the speed of it. I'm just smoothing off the corner here so people don't bring up their lunch. So where did they get their lunch from? Well, I built a fry stall and a cola stall, and I've done a bit of a sneaky thing by putting a bit too much salt on the fries, so they buy more drinks and spend more money at my park. Now, we can see by the little face at the bottom that people aren't really happy here, and I think it's because there's too much litter around, so I'll have to employ some more handymen. A lot of fascinating and unexpected things happen in this game. It takes a long time to play, but the more you put in, the more you'll get out.
Despite the funky name, this isn't the kind of game that gives you instant thrills. You need a lot of patience.
This is a really absorbing game, and you could lose yourself in it for days.
Theme park scores then. Both the boys and the girls gave it an excellent game if you've got all day to spare, 4 out of 5.
It had to happen. Those stars of Saturday morning telly, the Power Rangers, have morphed their way onto the SNES and Game Boy. But does the world need yet another scrolling beat-em-up? Here's Sally with the SNES version.
The game's not as bad as a TV show, but it's a close thing. The main characters are basic, the background's sparse, and frankly, the gameplay stinks. At the beginning of every level, you start off as a kid. Here I am playing Jason. Halfway through the level, you morph into a Power Ranger. You get a kinky red outfit, and you get more power, more weapons, but not much more interest. It has its moments, but they're few and far between. My little baby 5-year-old brother liked it, but it bored me to death.
I think there must be some mistake. This game costs more than Earthworm Jim. Who are they kidding?
It's just a basic beat-em-up. There's nothing here to keep you playing.
And so the scores, the girls and the boys agree. Power Rangers gets a sad old 1 out of 5.
Spotting different types of music, number 3. Heavy metal. Bang, bang, bang my head. Bang it on the table. Bang, bang, bang my head. Bang it when I'm able. If you like Mega Drive Mortal Kombat 2, then I've got the ultimate cheat for you. It lets you control every aspect of the game. You need to control every aspect of the game. On the options screen, go down to done, then press left, down, left, right, down, right, left, right, right. And then you can fight. You can change everything in the game. And then go bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang on everything I can. Bang, bang, bang. I'm a heavy metal fan. Bang, 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 bang.
Now I'm getting on down and dirty. Last week's competition prize was a Mega CD with a copy of Rebel Assault. We asked you, in the Star Wars films, what was the name of Princess Leia's home planet? Now, the answer is Alderaan, as loads of you knew. In fact, we had over 9,000 entries. But the lucky winner was David Clifford from Orpington in Kent. Well done. 10 runners-up get bad influence T-shirts.
This week we've got 2 Earthworm Jim games to give away as prizes, one with a SNES and one with a Mega Drive. And the competition question is, how many eyes does an earthworm have? You can phone in your answer on 0891 555 999. Call will cost no more than 25p. Lines will close at midnight on Monday. As always, make sure you get permission from the person who pays the phone bill before you dial.
Before we go, have a look at this. Primal Rage, a new game taking the arcades by storm. The game is a one-on-one beat-em-up like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, but the Jurassic graphics have been produced by using a special animation technique called stop motion, usually found in movies. Animators constructed clay monsters and moved them frame by frame, digitising them into the game. Each of the 7 dino monsters has over 70 moves, including some horrendous finishing moves and some stunning specials, like I'll show you. I'm Diabolo on the right here. If I hold down these 2 buttons, on the left now, and the flame, that's the clockwise rotation. Anti-clockwise, you get the fireball.
Now, make sure you don't miss next week's programme, because you'll kick yourself if you miss one of our items. Can't tell you anything about it now, it's top secret, but don't miss it.
And our main review next week is Sonic and Knuckles. Here's an exclusive first look at it. See ya.
Bye-bye.